So in this video we'll be solving this problem, XOR queries of a subarray. Okay, so let's first understand what the problem says. So according to problem we will be given an array of integers. So let's make an array of integers. Okay, give me a second. So we will be given an array of integers. Along with this we will be given another array, that is a queries array. So let's suppose there are some values in this integer, any random value, 1 2, yeah, 1 2 2 1 3 2 1 2 0 and so on. There are some values. Along with this we will be given a queries array. Queries array will be two-dimensional array, that is it will contain some two indices, that is a starting index and a ending index. That is, let's suppose that a queries array will be something like this. It will contain k queries. Okay, k queries, that is k will be the length of the array, and in each query we will be given two values, that is a starting index and ending index. And what we have to tell is that we have to tell the XOR of all the elements from starting index to ending index. Let's suppose that 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, this array was given to us. Okay, and in the queries array, let's suppose five queries were given to us. Okay, five queries were given to us. The first query was 0 to 2, so we have to tell the XOR of all the elements from 0 to 2. That is, we have to tell the XOR of 1 XOR, 2 XOR, 2, whatever will be the value, we have to tell that. Okay, and in the second query we were given something like this. Let's suppose 3 to 6, then we have to tell the XOR of all the elements from 3 to 6, that is 1 XOR, 3 XOR, 2 XOR, 1 3 to 6. Okay, in the third query, let's suppose we were given 0 to 4, so we have to tell XOR of all the elements from 0 to 4, that is 1 XOR, 2 XOR, 2 XOR, 1 XOR, 3. Okay, so in this way we will be given k queries, and in each query we have to tell the XOR of all the elements from starting index to ending index. Okay, and finally we have to return a array, that is an array list, where array list of I contains the answer to query of I. Okay, so that is 0th index will contain the XOR of elements from 0 to 2. First index of the array list will contain the XOR of elements from 3 to 6. So this is the problem. So this is what we have to solve. Okay, so now let's see how we can solve this particular problem. Okay, so one way of solving this problem is what, that we will traverse on the query array. Let's suppose we will traverse on the query array one by one. We will pick the query. In each query we will be given a starting index and ending index. So what we will do, we will traverse on this particular array and we will calculate the XOR. This is the brute force way of solving this particular problem. But this way of solving the problem is not a very good idea. Why? Let's suppose in calculating the XOR, what could be the complexity? Like, let's suppose if starting index is 0 and ending index is the array length, that is n, then in calculating XOR we will traverse the whole array and it will take us what, order of n time. Okay, so worst case for the calculating the XOR could take us what, order of n. And let's suppose the queries are k, there are k queries, so it will take us what, k into n. Our time complexity will be something like this, k into n, where k is the number of queries and n is what, the length of the array. Okay, so this is not a very good way. Why? Because let's see what we are doing in this particular answer. First query, let's suppose we were given 0 to 5, so we calculated the XOR from 0 to 5. Let's suppose second query was what, 1 to 5, so we calculated XOR from 1 to 5. Third query was again 0 to 5, so we again calculated 0 to 5. And if you see clearly, what we have done is 0 to 5 and 1 to 5. What we are doing, we are only removing one element from this range, and we are then we will be able to get the range from 1 to 5, means range XOR of elements from 1 to 5. What I am saying is that I have calculated the XOR for all the elements from 0 to 5, that is 0 to 5. In the next step I am calculating XOR of all the elements from 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 is what, basically all the elements from 0 to 5. I have to remove only the 0th element, then I will get the answer for this particular range. Okay, so I am some kind of doing again the computation again and again. Okay, so I am like, we can optimize it. Okay, so how we can optimize it, let's see that how we can optimize it. What we can do is that instead of recomputing again and again, what we can do, we can maintain a prefix. Not prefix means we can pre-calculate a XOR array. Pre-calculate, what do I mean by it? I will make another array. Okay, let's make another array of the same length as our original array. Okay, and what I will store at each index is, just give me a second. Yeah, so what I will store at each index, here I will store XOR of all the elements from 0th to ith index. At ith block I, what I will store, XOR of all elements from 0 to ith index. This is what I am going to store at this particular location, at any ith location. So this will help me to reduce my complexity of computing means particular query to O of 1. Originally, to compute the answer for a query, what I was doing, I was traversing the array, it was taking us order of n time. Now we can reduce this order of n to order of 1 by using this prefix, means pre-calculated array. This computation can be reduced to order of 1 time. How? Let's see that how we are going to achieve that. We know that at each index, what I am going to store, I am going to store the XOR of all the elements from 0 index to ith index. Okay, so let's suppose that some query is given to me that calculate the range from 0, means XOR from 0 to 5. This query is given to us, so I want to calculate from 0 to 5. So this is already stored at 5th index, right? 0 1 2 3 4 5. What I have stored over here is XOR of all elements from 0 to 5th index. This is what I have stored over here. So to calculate this particular query, I will not traverse the array. I can simply access this particular location. So in order of 1, I will be able to get the answer for this particular array, for this particular query. Okay, let's suppose second query is given to me to calculate the XOR of elements from 3 to 5. Okay, now you might be thinking like, how will we will be able to do it in order of 1 time? Let's see how we can do it in order of 1 time. What we know that a XOR a is what? 0. So if you perform the XOR of the same elements, we'll get 0. So this property I am going to use. What I will do, I will, for 3 to 5, I can write it as what? Something like this: XOR of all the elements from 0 to 5 into XOR of all the elements from 0 to 2. Then I will be able to get XOR of all the elements from 3 to 5. Let's suppose this is, let's name this as a1, a2, a3, a4, a5 and a6 for now. Okay, for now let's name the elements are let's name the elements are a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. Okay, so we want a3 3 to 5, that is what? a4 XOR a5 XOR a6. This is what we want. Okay, and this is equivalent to what? I am saying that it is equivalent to 0 to 5 XOR 0 to 2. It is equivalent to 2. Let's see how. If we see 0 to 5, we know the answer for 0 to 5 is stored at what? Index 5, and it is what? 0 to 5 is what? a1 XOR a2 XOR a3 XOR a4 XOR a5 XOR a6. Okay, XOR 0 to 2. 0 to 2 is stored at this particular location, and this is what? This is equal to XOR of all the elements from 0 to 2, that is XOR a1 XOR a2 XOR a3. Now we know that a XOR a is 0. So now if we look clearly, a1 XOR a1, this will give us 0, a2 XOR a2 will give us 0, and a3 XOR a3 will give us 0. So finally we are left with what? a4 XOR a5 XOR a6, and this is what we were looking for, right? So we are able to achieve that using this pre-computed XOR array. So this also reduced to order of 1. So earlier this was taking us what? Order of n time. Now this is taking us order of n time. So in this way we will be able to resolve any query in order of 1 time. Let's suppose any query a to b is given to us. So how we will calculate it? So our answer will be what? Let's suppose name this array as something like this XOR array for now. Let's suppose for now. So our answer for this will be what? XOR of b XOR of a minus 1. This will be our answer, and this is what? This we can do it in order of 1 time. Okay, so this is what we are going to do for this particular problem. Okay, so let's see this code in action. So what we are going to do is that we will be given an array. Okay, so let's make another array, XOR array equals to what? A new integer of array dot length. Okay, now we want to store the XOR of at each location. What we want to store the XOR of all the elements from 0 to this particular location. So for 0th element, what will be the XOR? XOR will be same as the first element. Like for first element, what we will store? We will store so array of 0 XOR array of 1. For second element, what we will store? Array of 0 XOR array of 1 XOR array of 2. So for first element we will what store? There is no element before the first element, so for 0th element we will simply store array of 0. We are simply maintaining something like prefix array. Okay, so this is nothing new. So XOR of 0 will be what? XOR of 0 will be array of 0. Okay, now for integer I equals to 0, not 0, I equals to 1, I is less than array dot length plus plus I. XOR of I will be what? Array of I XOR of I minus 1. So we calculated the prefix array. Now what we have to do? Let's make an array list. We have to return an array list of integer. So an array list of integer ARR equals to not array, let's make it, name it as result equals to new array list. Okay, now we will travel in the queries array. So for integer I equals to 0, I less than queries dot length plus plus I. We will get two index. Starting index will be what? Queries of I comma 0, and ending index will be what? Queries of I comma 1. So queries of I comma 1. Now we want to calculate the XOR in this range. So what will be our answer? Our answer will be like, give me a second, just now we have discussed that whatever a, if a to b is given to us, then XOR of b minus XOR of a minus 1. So let me call this part as left for now. Okay, so our XOR, let's make a variable left will be what? XOR of starting index minus 1, and our answer will be what? XOR of, that is ending index minus, not minus, XOR left part. This will be our answer, and we will add this in our array list. So result dot add answer. Finally we will return answer. We have to handle one case when the starting index is 0. Let's suppose that this range given to us is what? This is not minus over here, this is XOR over here. Okay, let's suppose we will be given a range that we have to calculate XOR from 0 to 5. In this particular range, like XOR, what we do XOR of 5, XOR of 0 minus 1. So minus 1 is not a valid index. So if starting index is 0, then we have to handle a case that in this particular case, instead of XOR of 0 minus 1, we will simply XOR it with 0. Okay, so if starting index, that is in this particular case, if we have to check if starting, not if, that if starting index is double equals to 0, then we will simply return 0. Otherwise we will use XOR of starting index minus 1, and finally we will add it to our answer. Okay, so this was the solution for this particular problem. So currently the test cases are not uploaded in our portal, so by the time you will code this problem, test cases will be uploaded, so you can use this particular approach to solve this problem. Okay, so I hope you guys would have enjoyed the video and understood the solution.